Many of you know that Dr. Linnie Ruth Hall and this lectureship symbolizes leadership. Some of you may not know that Dr. Hall served as a lieutenant in the United States Navy during World War II. After the war, she served as a teacher and administrator in higher education for 42 years. 27 of those years were at SOSU. She retired as head of the business department in 1973. I'd like to point out, especially to the students on the back of your program, is what she liked to refer to as her time management principles. Here again, symbolizing efforts toward leadership. The person I'm about to introduce is himself a model of leadership. Dr. Larry Williams was appointed by the Board of Regents, Oklahoma Colleges, as the university's 15th president on August 15, 1987. Dr. Williams has spent 29 years in higher education administration, a native of Cushing, Oklahoma. Dr. Williams' academic credentials include a BS and an MBA in management from Central State University and his PhD in education from the University of Oklahoma. Dr. Williams holds membership in numerous professional, state, and national organizations and has been the recipient of many awards and honors during his career in higher education. Recently, he was selected as a participant in the 1996 Harvard Institute for Educational Management program. Most recently, through the recommendation of the School of Business faculty and the appointment by the Board of Regents, President Williams has become Professor Williams in the Department of Management. Please join me in welcoming President and Professor Dr. Lloyd.
I have to comment that the greatest honors I've ever received was the recommendation from the faculty for ranking tenure in school business. But I've since discovered that perhaps there's a little more to it than that. I used to, and Alan was just with me over there a few moments ago, I used to go into the master's office and kind of foam at the mouth a little, or kind of slobber a little, or something. I mean, that is the most beautiful building that you'll ever see, the most beautiful office. And I'd occasionally go over there. In fact, one time Dan and I went over there, and as a gag, I took my wife's photograph and put it on the desk and took a picture in the master's seat. It might be up on his desk, and I moved Marcy's pictures of Pam's there. And we were going to use that as kind of a gag on him one of the days. And so I really discovered the reason for the appointment was that he got tired of me coveting his office, and now as a professor of management, I report to Dean Masters, and I can no longer threaten him with the use of his office. It's with great pleasure that I join Dr. Masters in welcoming all of you to the second Linnie Ruth Hall lectureship. What a great day it is for us here at the university, and particularly for those involved in the School of Business. I recall in this very ballroom 2 years ago when Dr. Will Sweet gave the inaugural lectureship, the intense interest, and I want to express appreciation to not only all of the students that are here, but to those of you from the community, but intense interest in the life of Linnie Ruth Hall and her accomplishments and the things that the standards that she has set, that all of us have to, by the way, keep stepping pretty fast and make sure we stay up with her in that regard. But on November 30th, 1994, I remember predicting that this lectureship would become a very rich tradition at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. I don't think there's any doubt about it. The words that you're going to hear this morning, I think, will be equally, if not exceed, our previous speakers from an entirely different perspective. And I want to get about the business of introducing to you to deliver today's lecture a fellow who is a very successful graduate of Southeastern Oklahoma State University School of Business. His career, I'm going to sneeze, I can feel that coming. His career in highly diversified. He's co-founder of the largest wireless cable operation in the entire United States. And I particularly am going to give you a little bit longer introduction because Alan Wheeler is the kind of person that many of us step back and say, gosh, I wish I could know him. Gosh, I wish I understood how he operated. Look at the tremendous successes that he has had. And I want all the students here particularly to listen intently. What a kind of a poor old country kid took from this institution and turned into a marvelous career of just one success built on top of yet another. Alan Wheeler is a native of Durant. He received his bachelor's degree in business administration and economics from the university. He ended on it. It's something that I suspect a lot of people thought might be a strange. He went to University of Oklahoma and received a nursing home administration certificate. And I'll explain into my introduction here in just a minute. After serving 2 years in the Army, Alan returned to Durant where he was a criminal investigator for the district attorney. He then acquired 3 nursing homes and served as the administrator of all 3 of those facilities for the some 15 years that he owned. Personally ran each of those 3 nursing homes. Although Alan's career in investments have been highly diversified, his major emphasis has been in the broadcasting industry. He was a partner and co-operator of Eastern Oklahoma Television Company out of Ada, which operated television station K10, which is an ABC and NBC affiliate. He's also a majority stockholder and president, as well as chief executive officer of Durant Cablevision, Inc., an MSO cable provider and advertising company. Mr. Wheeler's group acquired a family-owned cable company in 1982, upgraded the system, and increased subscribers by more than 20% in 7 short years that he owned the operation. And since the emergence of wireless cable as a viable investment several years ago, Alan has been involved in the development of wireless markets and licensing. His group have filed for FCC licenses in 174 different markets. His group is a major shareholder in several corporations, which are currently holding licenses in 9 different states: Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Texas. So heartland of Durant is very, very big. The ADA system began serving rural Pontotoc County customers in March of '92, which was Heartland's initial market. There are currently 55 markets operating with Durant as the corporate headquarters. Alan Wheeler was a major shareholder and member of the board of directors of American Packing Company, a Durant newspacking plant. His group sold the plant several years ago. He was then a major shareholder and member of the board of directors of Medical Center Pharmacy Incorporated, and recently sold all of his stock out of that. He has for a long time been a real estate developer and operator. He has been either the sole owner or majority interest owner in apartments, medical facilities, motels, office buildings, residential subdivisions, restaurants, and shopping centers. In addition, his ventures include ownership of large blocks of stock in banks around the state of Oklahoma and owning large blocks of stock in small corporations. He's been either directly or indirectly involved with the operation and management of each operation or each thing or each activity he's brought into. He's a co-founder of Heartland Wireless Communications and has served as a director since its formation in September 1990. The company was taken public in April of 1994 and has expanded, I think most of you know, to the largest wireless operation in the entire United States. It is also a major stockholder in other foreign and domestic wireless cable operations. And the reason for a slightly longer introduction excuse me, is to give you all, particularly again the students, a feel of what a diverse administrator and manager, entrepreneur that Alan Wheeler has been. He has performed so well in every market and everything that he has attempted. And as we've talked on several occasions, he likes to credit Southeastern Oklahoma State University for his versatility and for his ability to step into virtually any market and work hard with the training that he had here under people like Dr. Linnie Ruth Hall, and has been able to be a tremendous success. And Alan, I don't know if you want to do it, but I would like to introduce the other half of Wheeler, I guess, the always charming, stand please. With that, I would like to introduce you now to Mr. Lloyd, Alan Wheeler, who is an entrepreneur, in everyone's regard, in every capacity that you could identify one. Alan? Thank you.
I got my wife to help me write this, and she typed it last night for me. I was going to rehearse this morning, make a mistake, and went to work, didn't have the opportunity. So bear with me. I will start in the beginning. Now don't get out the violins. I'm not going to talk about walking to school barefooted, 6 inches of snow in both ways. I just wanted to show you how all of our lives have parallels. In other words, let's have a reality check. My first business endeavor was to talk my mother into buying me a push lawnmower. I was 8 years old. At the time, I thought the lawn that I hired out to mow was the size of a football field. Later, Betty and I drove to Muskogee, Oklahoma, and I looked at that yard, and it's about a 20 to 30. You know, but that was my very first business adventure. My next business was much larger. I had a partner. We had an employee. And we caught pigeons in an elevator-like building, and his sister was our employee. We give her a nickel to clean them. And we sold them downtown Muskogee at the time. Squabs were real popular in your nicer restaurants. We sold them for a quarter apiece. When I was 15 years old, I moved to Durant. I got a job selling used furniture for Cash Noel Jr. I don't know whether any of you know Cash Noel Jr. or not. He's a local auctioneer at Durant. But Cash Noel taught me how to sell used iron bedsteads. And so I later went to work for a service station at the corner of First and Evergreen. It's a muffler shop now, but I stayed there through Durant High School, and I worked there the first 2 years at Southeastern State College at the time. And page 1. My first day at Southeastern State College, I noticed a bright yellow canary convertible parked in the very first stall as you come in the circle. That's one we can park on both sides. He was on this right-hand side as you come in, and it had a Texas tag on it, paper tag, brand new. And I thought, I know everyone in Durant. There's no one can afford a Mercury convertible. So I hung around that convertible thinking, I got to meet this guy. So it turned out to be a guy named Leo Long from Denison, Texas. I got to know him and asked him where he got the car. He said his father bought it for him for graduating from Denison High School. And I said, what did your dad do? He said, he carries a paper route. I said, where? He said, Denison Herald. And I said, I'd like to meet him. He said, sure, I can introduce you. So that evening I drove to Denison and met his father, Ralph Long. And Ralph and I become close friends. And long story short, he gave me a paper route. It had no customers. He said, I'll give you all the papers you want free. This was to help with circulation of the Denison Herald, so they charge more for advertising. I mean, it took me a while to figure that out when I got something for nothing. But anyway, I took those papers and I started knocking doors. He said I had Madill, Oklahoma, Durant, Madill, Caddo, and all the areas in between were my territory. So I started knocking all the doors between Durant and Madill and Little City and Kennefic, Caddo, back to Durant. Long story short, I built up a route. In about 6 months, it had about 1,500 subscribers. Well, at the time, it was only $1 a month. But $1 a month's about like $5 now, right? I got on it. Anyway, it was a pretty good paycheck. So the minute that I could pass a credit check down to the local Oldsmobile dealership in Durant, I went down and bought me a red 98 Olds convertible. And I parked it out in front of that Mercury. My wife helped me with this. She knows my entire life. Some of these things I don't know. school or work, to me, makes it a success. So I did that for 2 solid years, and the Korean War was escalating, and at the time out here, if you weren't seen in the coffee shop behind these walls, you weren't very popular with some of the old World War II veterans. So yellow belly comes to mind, you know. So the deferment was a bad word. Anyway, a few of us decided we'd just join and go on. So I did. And anyway, after being discharged from the military, I returned to Durant. There wasn't very many jobs at that time in Durant. Not like we got a lot now, but I couldn't find one. And so I was tired of college at the time. I had 2 years of it. I thought, hey, the world's ready for me. And so I went to Dallas with a friend of mine that had 3 years at Southeastern. And he had a lead that we could go to work for General Electric down in Dallas. So I went to Dallas and I filled out all the applications and went through the interviews and so forth and so on. And I was hired. Jim was hired. That was my friend. And as we were leaving, I said, how much pay they going to give you? And he told me, and I said, well, that's almost twice what they're going to pay me. So I went back in, and I asked the guy, I said, isn't there a mistake? He said, oh, no, he has 3 years of college. You only got 2. I said, you can have these papers, and you know what? And I left, quit that job before I ever started, and returned to Southeastern to get my other years. I've told you all these things that you may realize my life has been similar to some part of each of yours. Talk with you students. I don't mind you're not up there at the front. I've learned early on that nothing is given to you. Anyone, I'm giving proof of that, can reach goals even higher than mine if you apply yourself towards that goal. I knew I wanted my life to be different from my surroundings, and I'm referring to I wasn't raised dirt poor. My father worked for the Katy Railroad here at Durant. He was a roadmaster from the Red River to Muskogee, Oklahoma. He made pretty good money, but he had 7 of us kids, and you know, I didn't have a lot of fringe benefits. So, but I always felt like I wanted more. So I learned that if you work hard at attaining your education and in the workplace, life would be easier for me. It has been. Life itself is education. However, education in the classroom helps us to learn perseverance and to gain confidence. Sometimes it seems that these classes you have to take could not ever, ever, ever be used in real life. I know the feeling. I've been there. Keep after them, though. I'm here to tell you that you do use them. They will be appropriate at some stage of your life. And sometimes you don't even know when it is, but you will need them. When you receive that diploma, it won't be written on there that you have confidence, but you will. With that degree, you will be prepared to enter any door life opens up for you. You'll be able to fit into that puzzle called life. And these words are really mine. My education at Southeastern totaled 177 hours. If you look at the transcript on that. Before I get don't think they can't do it. Before I got my degree, I had 177 hours. I cannot tell you they were a 4-point grade average either, but there was a lot of variety. I had a lot of admiration for Dr. Linnie Ruth Hall. During her classes, the business and economic world came alive. I knew that that was my niche in life, was business. And so I made it my life's goal. And with Dr. Linnie Ruth Hall, she just forced you to learn. She never bragged on me. Boy, I'd work my head off, but she just demanded more. I'd make a C. She said it should have been a B. Make a B, and then I'd still a B, because that's the best I could do. You're not looking at Einstein up here. I'm getting off my notes. I better. In the corporate world, there's a place for every degree. We utilize the arts, math, science, technology, computer science, secretarial training, speech, English, and so forth. Some of the best salesmen we have at Heartland today, we're competitive in sports, something I've noticed. You take a person that is pretty good in sports, and I'm not saying you're not going to be good if you don't participate in sports. I think it goes back, you can't, you have this desire to win. You don't take no for an answer. They knock you down on the football field, you get right back up. Basketball court, you fight. The same, I think it goes back, if you're pretty competitive in sports, it kind of gives you a little edge up. I wasn't the best during high, but Mr. Massey, your daddy helped up the blocking in it for me. I'm getting off again. My goal was to be a millionaire by the age 33. I remember going to look at a repossessed ranch that a partner at the time had. His name was Glenn Justice. He owned a mortgage company, and he was all over the United States. And he was going down to Ballsville, Oklahoma, to look at a ranch he was having to repossess. And I was in the back seat. My partner at the time, John Massey, was up in the front with Glenn, our partner. And I'm in the back seat, just a young student, still at Southeastern, wondering how you ever going to get there. And I asked Mr. Justice, I said, Mr. Justice, do you remember the moment that you made your first $1 million? And he said to me, he said, Alan, if you ever know that, you're not working hard enough. I realize that's true now. Life puts so much in your path, if you're willing to tackle it. Your education here at Southeastern makes you able. It has to give you the confidence to tackle it. During my years at Southeastern, I was a car salesman and continued the paper route. I never gave it up. Make that kind of money. I had later I ran a laundromat and 4 nursing homes. I don't know why you put all this in there. Constructed a shopping center and a Winn-Dixie store at Marietta, purchased real estate, dentist, just blah, blah, blah. Waves, Florida lady, most this stuff. And it's just stuff, you guys can do more than I can. It's just, you won't do, 90% of it's confidence in yourself. And you're going to get that when you walk across that stage. You know that no one ever, I'm getting off again. You're going to know when you walk across that stage in that road, when you get that piece of paper, it doesn't say anything on it, just roll up blankly. I used to think you really got some secrets or something how to be successful. I was so naive in that. Anyway, but now I realize, looking back over my life, what I did get walking across that stage. I guess it's still the same stage. That I got confidence and didn't even know I got it. I got confidence that I could go out and do things in my life without being scared that I can't accomplish it or it's going to be hard. I've never done this before. 99% of the things I've done, I've never do what I was doing when I started. Honest to God, I didn't. I just always had partners that were greedy, I want to do everything. Anyway, I won't name any of my partners. My business ventures have been as varied as my college hours, but the most difficult job I have ever tackled was Heartland Marcus. Let me get it right. I was told that this is as far as I'd have to go, but, so I stopped right there with this is supposed to be just for the students, and I was going to stop there, but then I found out that I've got to talk twice today, right? So I was told that I didn't talk long enough, and I have to, now that y'all going to hear what the people that's paying to eat here today going to hear. In 1989, David Webb and Bobby Story and I looked into the possibility, did I say something wrong? Yeah, there he is. Dr. Gold is another good one. I'm telling you, you guys are blessed with something very, very blessed. I looked into the possibility of obtaining some new technological license called wireless television. These are licenses issued by FCC, that's our federal government, that were granted when you have the right to broadcast for a radius of 35 miles from your tower site. That covers 4,000 square miles. If there are any cities in your radius, just imagine for a moment 70 miles across in all directions. And any rooftop, any city, any community, whatever, is in your line of sight, you have the right issued to you by the federal government through these licenses to broadcast wireless television signals to them. It's 32 granted, so that gives you the right to transport 32 channels. Soon to be compression come along and up to 10 times that and all that, but 32 is all you can watch at one time anyway. Our signal requires a line of sight from our transmitter located on the top of our tower. And we install a small antenna on the roof of our subscriber, which enables us to send our 32 channels without any interruption. We started filing applications in town in Oklahoma that are close to Durant. Remember, this is in 1989. Ada, McAllister, Muskogee, Lansing, Silver, Tulsa, Ardmore. And we discovered, after we built the very first one, that it was going to require, just to get the tower up and the transmitters and all the equipment, $1,500,000. And at the time, we had applied for 81 markets. And we needed financial help in order to build these markets in a hurry. We asked around the financial community and found out that there was a gentleman by the name of Lamar Hunt who loved to be a part of a founding new business. He was the founder of the American Football League, the American Tennis Association, one of the owners of the Chicago Bulls, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, the original founder of professional soccer. Just a tremendous, tremendous person. Great, great person. Humble type. Named Lamar Hunt, Dallas, Texas. He had a couple of brothers that I've never met, but I've heard they used to hoard up his silver. He is not one of them. This guy is a tremendous, tremendous nice person. We got an appointment with him. I might add through Glenn Justice, my old friend from when I first started out in the business world. John Massey and Alan Lloyd, that's the guy, that's our mentor in the beginning, one of them. But he got me an appointment with this Lamar Hunt. So I went to Dallas to meet Mr. Hunt and explained to him that we had the license at the time for 81 markets, and explained to him what that was. With a potential of 10 million subscribers, that's the number of households that our segment will see. And someday they would pay us, if we could get them, about $40 a month, up to $40 a month. If we could only get 10%, we're still saying the same story. If we can only get 10% of that, it's a great deal. We presented these facts to Mr. Hunt and explained we would give up 1/2 of our ownership if he could find a mechanism to fund Wireless Communications, Inc. That's what the name of the company was at that time. He asked, do you care if we take this company public? I'm thinking, who cares? You know, he said, I think it will sell easily on Wall Street. I responded, whatever you have to do to obtain the capital would be fine with me. He stood up and said, I accept the challenge. That was in 1992. We decided to name the company Heartland Wireless Communications. And we went public within 2 years. We were the largest wireless cable company in America. At the end of the second quarter of 1997, we will be the largest in the world. And the only one that's larger now is down in Mexico. It's called Mexico City. And they have 300,000. And we will exceed that by the end of the second quarter of next year. We have insisted on the corporate operation remaining in Durant. I don't like to travel. My wife can tell you that. I hate travel. So I have finagled and done everything I could possibly do to keep Heartland in Durant. So I've been pretty successful with that. We have the operations department of Heartland in Durant. We have the telemarketing department in Durant, the billing departments in Durant, the sales departments in Durant, the warehouse divisions in Durant, the tire building divisions in Durant, the human resource departments in Durant, the collections departments in Durant, like some payrolls in Durant. Because of certain requirements, some of the county is done in Dallas, Texas. But we hire locally as much as we can. We have a training center because it didn't take long for us to realize that there's no one out there in the workforce. You guys don't think that just because your grade was in certain areas that means you got to stay in that area. You don't have to. You've already demonstrated the ability that you've got what it takes to stick through and learn something. This is not rocket science, right? What I'm talking about here today. Everything I've done is not rocket science. It just takes dedication to come off again. We had to train every employee because there wasn't any policy and procedure manuals that we could go by. No one had ever done this before. There were a few wireless systems in the world, but they had 10,000 subscribers. We want to be 1 million subscribers, so we had to gear up and get larger. We had 81 markets we had to get filled out. Now we got 160-something markets we got filled out. So we bought the old Plaza Theater downtown Durant on North 3rd. It still says Plaza. It looks like a movie outside still. We transformed that into our training center, and we train everyone from the sales department to the offices, to the installers, to the collectors, to the building department. We bring them all to Durant, Oklahoma. They may come from Ohio. They may come from all over the United States, but they train in that old Plaza Theater in the balcony. We go up tonight, and any of you are welcome any day you want to come down and view it. It's not a lot of brass and glass, but it gets the job done. And we train every single one of them there. Then we send them out into the markets after they pass a test that we give them. We don't want them going out there not doing it the cookie cutter way that we do it. There's one procedure manual, and operation procedures are all the same for all the markets. We tried to do it like the Walmart. Why change something that works? You walk in one of our stores, it's just like the one in Lubbock, Texas, the same as Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa is the same as Peoria, Illinois. It's the same. You transfer from one to the other, the old theory like the Walmart. We have formed a new corporation in Monterrey, Mexico, and we've applied for 53 markets in Mexico. We can't get enough, see. We're often in foreign countries now. But they come to us. We didn't come to them. We got this reputation of being the #1. Here they come. And this nice family came to Durant, Oklahoma. The Milmo family. It doesn't mean much to a few of you. One or two I look out here, I don't know, but y'all know who they are. But they're a person named Thomas Milmo Jr. just happens to be blessed with coming from the two richest families in the country of Mexico. And very, very educated in the United States, real nice person. And he had been reading about Hartman Wireless, so he, being ambitious too, went and obtained the 53 largest cities in Mexico, the license to broadcast 32 channels. He's got the wherewithal to get that done, but he didn't know what to do with them when he got them. So he came to Durant, Oklahoma, looked up myself and a few of my guys, and we've been working on that for about a year and a half. Just about brought it to finish on January 15th of '97. We will start our very first market in Mexico. And you think maybe the way I thought when he first walked into my office that hey, there's no money in Mexico. I've been down there. My wife and I have taken a few trips down there, and we'll never go back to drinking water. That was my first impression, but I have since changed my mind 100%. They've got cool people down there, but they've got working people down there, hard-working people down there. And what I first had to find out that the income is available to pay Hartman, Telenor Hartman's the name, going to be down there, Telenor Hartman, to pay us our $20 or whatever it is we're going to charge down there. Because when the son gets married down there and takes a wife, he just brought in more money to his father's home because he puts his wife to work. He gets him a job. He brings a check home to that same family. And the average wage earner in a Mexican house is 3.5 wage earners. Up here in the United States, we got 1.5. So there's enough money in those homes down there to afford wireless cable TV. As soon as I was shown the facts on that, I got excited, and we're going to do that. We also had a group show up here from Chile. I don't know where Chile is at. But what I've heard about it since anyway, I sent a group down there to look it over, and they do have a tremendous amount of households and no television down there. That is sickening. So Hartman donated the equipment. You might add it to the equipment. It's good equipment, but it's equipment that was 10 watts. We're only using 50 now. So it's in the warehouse down here on Wall Street in Durant, Oklahoma, gathering dust. So we boxed it up and shipped it on a ship down to Chile. So we're now partners in a wireless system in Chile. Also, I got a group from Greece walked into my office about 5 weeks ago, and I thought the mafia just come to him. I mean, this guy, I was looking for my senator. Anyway, but anyway, they did, but I got to talking to them and found out that they were nice guys. They just speak a little bit funny, but they had the license for Greece. I've never been to Greece. I've always told my wife I want to go there. Looks like I'm going to get the opportunity because he explained to me Athens. Athens has 1 million households that are safe and rich. So again, greed takes over again. Here you go. It's a challenge. It's not the money. It was the money in the beginning. It's a challenge now to keep doing these things. But the opportunities are there. The confidence is still got that. Walk across that stage, you'll get it. Just stay in there. Don't give up. I know. Heartland's reputation has gone out quite extensively around the world. We were recently named the top wireless cable system in the country by the Wireless and Private Cable Association. We hope we can handle many opportunities that are afforded us. I wind up this by saying that I appreciate you guys coming out here. I see all of my friends out there, and grew up in a private person. This is the first time I've ever agreed to do this. My secretary took this call, and she kind of told, "Oh, sure, I'm sure he'd do it." And when I told her, "No, you call him back, I won't." I felt bad about it. So anyway, I'm glad that I did. Really, to be honest with you, I'm glad I did. And I thank all of you. Thank you.
Ready for class breaks, but I would like to allow the opportunity for at least a couple of questions that students might have for Mr. Wheeler.
I have a question. Are you also involved in the Burger King now? I noticed your flag up there.
Burger King in Durant?
Yeah.
Do we have a plaque there? Is it inside Burger King?
Yes.
I didn't know that. The reason it would be there is in each community that we go into, don't tell it, I've got a cousin I can beat you. We go in, when we open up a market, we go into the most popular restaurants, like the Durant Country Club, and as a freebie type thing, we put our service on the TV in those places. And they graciously allow us to put a sign there that says, courtesy of Heartland Wireless, phone 1-800. We do this in all 56 markets. It's just a way to, because no one ever heard of wireless TV. No one. I mean, we have to explain that 1,000,000 times a day, all over our markets. But I'm glad to know that you know this.
So it's advertising.
It's advertising.
Mr. Wheeler, I'm Judd McLeod. I'm a student. I'm majoring in management. I'd like to compliment you. I'm not from Oklahoma originally, and I'd like to compliment you. I've heard that you grew really large, really fast. And I had a question about, you talked about your training, and I was going to ask you if you could elaborate, if you will, on your training as far as entering managers or your management training. If you could explain that a little bit on what y'all are doing now.
When we hire a general manager?
Yes, sir.
Sure. We have a general manager's manual. It's similar to some of your textbooks out here. It lists out from page 1 all the way through, I think it's about a 200-page manual. That it just simply takes you day by day by day. You won't hang around the next speech. I think that's kind of a part of my next speech. But anyway, no, we just walk them through day one what they have to do when they open up the system, and we just basically teach them from the ground up. Basically, they have to know nothing about wireless, which they don't anyway. We're going to a strange town, they don't know what wireless TV is. So we try to hire not young, not old, just anybody, any age. We just hired. We got my youngest general manager is 20-year-old. You want to know who my best one is? And I've got them all the way up to 70. You know who my best one is? The 20-year-old. He has got more energy and all the other, more desire and confidence. He's fresh out of college. They learn fast. They want to be successful. This is not rocket science. It truly isn't. I think if you got the desire to learn it, you want to be a general manager in Harlan, you lived in Ohio, you want to go back home, you live in Illinois, wherever, Kansas, wherever we have these markets all over Texas. We're in almost every community in the state of Oklahoma. We have Texas with the exception of Houston. In Houston you're in trouble. But anyway, what we do when we hire the general manager, he is our storekeeper in that town, in that market, and he's responsible for an average of 5,000 subscribers, paying us an average of over $30 a day. So he handles a lot of money. He manages about 15 people. It's his job he runs it like he owns it. That's his job. He makes wise decisions, and when he has a doubt, he opens up his manual, and inside that manual he's got every single question that's ever been asked. And he can look up the answer, And after about 2 or 3 weeks, when you get that roll, take that roll off, you'll have that confidence, you'll know what that manual says. If it sounds right, it is right. If it sounds wrong, 99% of the time, no lawyer told me this one time. If it sounds wrong, 99% of the time it is wrong. You'll make decisions off of that gut feeling. It's in that manual somewhere. Guarantee you. It's like in the law books and lawyers, they say, you sound wrong, hey, there's a law against that somewhere. We have to research about it. It's a similarity, but it's not hard. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not hard. Anyone can learn it if they really wants to. Don't want to be millionaires in here? Hey guys, you got to want to. You don't have to particularly be rich with money. You got to just be rich with success in what you want to do. If there's something you want to do, do it. It doesn't matter if it's a paper route. I had a brother one time that was out here at Southeastern at the same time I was, and glad he's not here today. He told me I was having loaning money. He was married and everything, didn't have any money, and I was having loaning money to get by on. And I said, Albert, I'll get you one of these paper routes. He said, hey, I'm a college student. I wouldn't carry a paper route. Hey, don't ever, if it's legal, it's an honest way to make $1, don't be ashamed of it ever. How many of you in this room know John Massey? Hey, I got a response there. Let me just give you, and this is not a John Massey day, but he has his son Greg. John, you're on the second row, but I can recall that when John and I got out of during high school together, we went to the Army together. I had the paper route before we went to the Army. And anyway, John didn't have paper route. We're down there in basic training, and John said, we get out of this man's Army, you give me one of them paper routes? And I'm thinking, man, that's going to be, we don't even know what year that's going to be when we get out of this Army. So I said, oh, sure, I'll get you one. Anyway, long story short, John, the night he got his discharge, before he went home, kissed his mama, let her know he's back in the United States. He knocked on my front door at 11:30 at night and said, I'm here for my paper route. So John Massey and Alan Wheeler have never been ashamed of what we do. As long as it's honest, we're not afraid of work. You can't be afraid of work, regardless of what it is. We bought a laundromat right across the street from this dormitory. It's called a double dime laundry. That's back when you wash for 2 dimes. Double dime laundry. John's job was to wash the floor and wipe the machines. My job was to keep them machines running. And I didn't know what I was doing either. So John, how we decided who's going to fix the machines and who's going to wipe the floors, you fill the hot box up. The first day we bought it, we walked in and after we paid that lady for that laundromat, y'all didn't ask for this, I'm just up here and here we go. Teach you to ask a question. I told John, I said, John, go out in the car and get my Phillips screwdriver. He went out in the car and brought me a pair of pliers. So I knew from that moment on, my job was, you know. I thought, man, how to do repair manual on the washing machine. But anyway, you can learn every single thing there is that comes out before you. If you just remember one thing, hey guys, nobody knows much more than you do. We all about equal in IQ, except for my wife and my youngest daughter. But anyway, the rest of us, most of the people, honestly, God, that I met in my life, there's not 5%, 10% difference in their IQ, and I've met some pretty smart people. It's what distinguishes the people to me from success and failure is that they don't have enough desire to stay with anything, regardless of what it is. I'm not referring to money either, I'm referring to just success in life. And, any questions? I mean,
Mr. Wheeler, can I ask you to come back up one more time? As a small token of our appreciation in the School of Business for you being the second lecturer of the Linnie Ruth Hall Lectureship, I'd like to present to you this plaque, which will be permanently hung in the Russell Building for everyone to witness and display. This lecture is now over. Thank you for coming.